Welcome. Now we'll discuss dynamic DQ model of wound field synchronous machine, that is Park model. Park model of wound field synchronous machine. That can be salient pole rotor or cylindrical rotor. So, first we will draw the power phase transient equivalent circuit of non-salient pole synchronous machine without damper winding. The equivalent circuit is as shown here. So, we have a stator winding, and stator winding has resistance Rs, stator resistance. Then stator winding has a leakage inductance, that is Ls of the stator winding. Then behind this impedance we have the induced EMF Vm. This is the induced EMF Vm, and voltage applied to the stator is Vs, and it draws a current Is. Okay. So, this is for non-salient pole machine. So, here Vm is the voltage behind voltage that is the air gap voltage, or you can say voltage behind subtransient impedance. Subtransient impedance is the stator resistance Rs plus j omega E Ls. So, or the air gap voltage, Vm is the air gap voltage. So, there is no D or Q because rotor is non-salient rotor. So, air gap is uniform, no direct or quadrature axis. Okay. So, next we will discuss salient pole rotor. So, we will obtain the dynamic model of salient pole synchronous machine with damper winding. So, we will use DQ frame model for the machine. Just like induction machine, we can develop the DQ frame model. The damper winding is equivalent to the rotor cage winding of induction machine, squirrel cage rotor winding. So, damper winding is the rotor winding and it will have equivalent in the equivalent circuit, both D and Q axis equivalent circuits, the damper winding will be present. And field winding is considered with additional circuit, field circuit, a field excitation circuit, and field excitation circuit is active only in the D axis. Obviously, at quadrature axis there is no field winding, field axis is the D axis. So, in this equivalent circuit, will the field circuit quantities are applied field voltage VFR, field current IFR, and field resistance RFR, and field leakage inductance LLFR, leakage inductance of the field. These are referred to the stator. So, first we will draw the Q axis equivalent circuit. We have the stator resistance RS, then we have the counter EMF, rotational EMF, that is omega E into psi ds along the Q axis, which opposes the applied voltage. Then we have the stator leakage inductance, and this is the stator mutual inductance LQM is the stator mutual inductance. This is the stator leakage inductance LLS, that is LQS self inductance minus mutual inductance LQM. This is the stator part referring to the rotor. The stator and rotor are coupled by this mutual inductance LQM, and then rotor has also a leakage inductance, that is LQR, that is self inductance of rotor, self inductance of the rotor LQR minus mutual inductance LQM. This is the rotor leakage inductance of the rotor. Then we have the rotor winding resistance RQR, which is shorted, no voltage applied across the rotor. So, the voltage applied to the stator winding is VQS, voltage applied to Q axis stator winding, and Q axis stator winding is drawing the current IQS, and rotor winding current is IQR, Q axis rotor winding, and the sign is taken in this direction, means this is positive direction. So, if IQR flows in this arrow direction, then it is positive. If IQR is following in the opposite direction, it is negative. This is the sign convention. Then we have the flux linkage psi QS, self flux of the Q axis stator winding is mutual flux plus leakage flux of the stator winding. Then we have the flux psi QR, Q axis rotor winding, it is the leakage flux of the rotor plus mutual flux, this is the psi QR. and rotational EMF omega E side ES due to d axis flux is, that is omega E side ES, it is opposing the stator applied voltage VQS. So, as you can see in this circuit, the flux IQS is LQS into IQS plus LQM into IQR. So, that is LS into IQS plus LQM into IQS plus IQR, mutual flux. Second part is the mutual flux and first part is the leakage flux. And also in the same line we can write side S d axis self flux is LDS IDS plus LDM into IDR plus field current IFR. Side DS, LDS, first part is the self flux and second part is the mutual flux from the rotor and the field winding, because field winding also has a excitation circuit and damper winding. DR is the D axis damper winding, and we have, that is LS IDS plus side D M, and this side D M is the mutual flux along the D axis, that is mutual inductance LDM into stator current IDS plus rotor current damper current IDR plus field current IFR. So, now we will draw the D axis equivalent circuit using these equations. So, voltage applied to the D axis stator winding is VDS. Stator winding has a resistance RS, stator winding resistance, and the stator winding draws current from the supply, that is IDS, current drawn by the D axis stator winding. Then we have the counter EMF, rotational EMF, induced EMF, that is omega E into psi QS, and we have the leakage flux of the stator winding, and this is the mutual inductance along the D axis LDM, and this is the leakage inductance of the stator winding LLS, that is LDS minus LDM. Then we have leakage inductance of the rotor LLDR, that is LDR minus LDM. Leakage inductance of the rotor, that is D axis damper winding. D axis rotor means damper winding, and we have the resistance RDR of the damper winding, and damper winding is closed, shorted. This is the D axis damper winding, and damper current is IDR, that is positive in the arrow direction. If the current flow IDR flows in the opposite direction to arrow, it is negative, that is for sign convention. And we have the field circuit also. Field circuit has inductance LFR, leakage inductance, and the resistance of the field winding is RFR, and voltage applied is VFR, voltage applied, this field winding voltage, and draws a field winding, draws a current IFR from the DC supply, and this is the resistance of the stator winding, resistance of the leakage inductance of the field winding, and resistance of the field winding. And flux psi ds is the self flux of the stator winding, that is mutual flux plus leakage flux of the stator winding, and also dr flux psi dr is here, and omega I psi qs is the rotational EMF. So, this is the d axis equivalent circuit, and as it can be seen, first part to the here LDM is the d axis mutual inductance, that is the represent total mutual flux along the d axis. To the left of that we have the stator side, to the right of that we have the rotor winding, that is damper winding, and also to the above that we have the field circuit, which is field circuit is only present in the active in the d axis. So, now using these two equivalent circuits for d and q axis, and we can write the electrical model in matrix form. So, the electrical model in matrix form. So, we will write applied voltage along the q axis stator is VQS, applied voltage along the stator is VDS, then VQR voltage of the q axis rotor is 0, VDR voltage across d axis rotor is 0, because rotor winding is closed, damper winding. Rotor winding means damper winding is closed. So, VQR and VDR are 0. Then we have the field winding, which has the voltage VFR. Fifth one is the field voltage. So, this is the voltage applied, this equals to the impedance matrix into current. In the same order we will write, first entry is the column current IQS, that is q axis stator winding, second one is IDS, that is d axis stator current, and third one is q axis rotor current IQR, fourth one is the d axis rotor current IDR, and fifth one is the field current IFR, DC current of the field winding. So, VQS as we write, let us write one, VQS is given by RS into IQS plus d psi QS by dt, then plus omega E into psi ds. Third term is the rotational EMF, second one is the transformer EMF d psi QS by dt. So, we have already written the expression of psi ds and psi QS, and we will replace these two by their current expressions, and we will write here in this matrix form. So, VQS is RS plus in d by dt will replace by the Laplace operator S. So, RS plus ASL QS, S is the Laplace operator. So, times IQS, then plus mutual inductance and IQR. So, S LQM times IQR, then omega E psi ds. Omega E psi ds is omega E LDS into IDS plus omega E LDM into IDR from the d axis damper winding, then from the field circuit omega E LDM into IFR, because psi dm the mutual flux is LQM LDM into IDR plus IFR plus IDS. Then VDS is RS plus SLDS times IDS plus SLDM times IDR plus SLDM times IFR, then minus omega E psi QS, that is minus omega E LQS IQS plus or minus omega E LQM IQR. This is from the rotational EMF. As you can write, VDS is RS into IDS plus d psi ds by dt minus omega E into psi QS. Psi QS expression we have already written, and psi ds also, as you know, psi ds is given by LDS IDS plus LDM into d axis damper current IDR and field current IFR, and so d by dt is replaced by Laplace operator S. So, this is for the d axis stator winding. Similarly, for q axis rotor winding, third line, that is third row, third column is RQR plus SLQR times IQR plus SLQM times IQS, then 0, 0, 0. In damper winding, there is no induction from the in q axis rotor, there is no induction from d axis rotor winding or field winding, only from the stator side it will be there. Similarly, fourth row is for VDR, fourth row, fourth column, it is RDR plus SLDR, so times IDR. Then we have SLDM times IDS, and other elements are 0. And for the field winding, we have fifth row, fifth column, we have RFR field resistance plus S times LFR leakage inductance of the field winding plus LDM d axis mutual inductance times IFR rotor resistance drop plus DIFR by dt. S is replaced by leakage inductance plus mutual inductance. Then from d axis rotor we have damper winding, we have SLDM, and from the stator also IDS we have SLDM times IDS, other terms are 0. So, I think this should be clear, because I have written the voltage expressions and the flux linkage expressions, and these flux linkage expressions when substituted in voltage equations, you get this electrical model in matrix form. Okay. So, along the q axis we have a stator winding and rotor winding that correspond to the damper winding, and along the d axis we have the stator winding, damper winding, that is the rotor winding, and also the field winding, 3 windings. So, these are the equations. So, electromagnetic torque developed Te is 3 by 2 into pole pairs into psi ds into IQS minus psi QS into IDS, and this electromagnetic torque is given as TL plus load torque plus 2 by P into J into d omega E by dt, torque balance equation. Thus, electromechanical dynamics of the machine is of 6th order, because there are 5 equations for the electrical model, as you have already seen, 5 by 5 matrix, and torque equation is the 6th one. So, it is a 6th order non-linear system, and this induction machine and synchronous machine models becomes identical if induction motor runs at synchronous speed then synchronous motor has no saliency and excitation is ignored. Under these conditions, induction machine and synchronous machine models will become identical. First point is induction motor runs at synchronous speed. Second point is synchronous motor has no saliency and excitation is ignored. Further, we will discuss the steady state model of the machine. From same equations we will develop at steady state condition S related terms, because no d at steady state no dy by dt. So, S related terms are replaced by 0. At steady state S related terms are 0. So, this leads to IDR is 0 and IQR equal to 0, because damper winding DR and QR corresponding to the damper winding. At steady state condition, damper winding is inactive, it is only active during the transient condition. At steady state condition, IDR and IQR are 0. So, with that we have VQS, voltage applied to the stator winding, that is RS into IQS plus omega E into flux psi ds, which is psi f plus LDS into IDS. So, that is RS times IQS plus omega E psi f is the field voltage Vf plus it is XDS IDS. So, where psi f is LDM into IFR and Vf is omega E psi f, that is omega E LDM IFR. Further, we will write VDS D axis stator voltage, that is RS IDS minus XQS IQS. At steady state condition, this can be derived. So, in these steady state equations, these variables like IDS, IQS, these are RMS phasors, phasors represented by RMS quantity, and if stator resistance RS is neglected, these steady state equations can be described using the equivalent phasor diagram which you have drawn in previous class. Next we will discuss variable speed synchronous motor drive. So, synchronous motor speed can be varied by varying the frequency, and some applications of variable speed synchronous motor drive. Fiber spinning mill, rolling mill, cement mill, ship propulsion, electric vehicles, servo and robotic drives, linear synchronous motor, propulsion that uses the magnetic levitation type, magnetic levitation, linear synchronous motor propulsion. Also some other applications are starter or generators, for aircraft engines, also variable frequency stators, for large wound field synchronous motors. So, these are some of the applications of variable speed synchronous motor drive. In variable speed synchronous motor drive, the speed is controlled by varying the frequency. By varying the supply frequency to the synchronous machine, the speed can be varied. So, as in the case of induction motor, so we can have V-wave control in variable speed synchronous motor drive. So, we can have constant V-wave control, constant V-wave control is used for speeds below the base speed or the rated speed. Constant V-wave control is done. So, constant V-wave control means it leads to constant flux. Constant flux means again constant maximum torque or constant pull out torque. So, that is suitable for constant torque drives, and even if constant V-wave control is done, at low speeds the V-wave ratio is increased to compensate for the stator resistance drop, and in this constant V-wave control the pull out torque is constant, maximum torque is constant. So, it is suitable for constant torque drive, and at rated voltage, at base speed voltage is the rated voltage. When the speed is higher than the base speed, motor is operated at rated voltage and variable frequency. So, maximum torque decreases with increase in frequency being inversely proportional, as you can see from these graphs. This is the frequency or synchronous speed omega s, and vertical axis is the voltage. This is the voltage, and this is the base speed. below the base speed V by F ratio is maintained constant, only at low speed region the V by F ratio is increased to compensate for the stator resistance drop. At base speed the voltage is the rated voltage, and above the base speed the voltage is maintained constant at the rated voltage, only frequency is changed to vary the speed. So, with that you can see below the base speed, because V by F ratio is maintained constant, the flux is constant. The flux is constant, and above the base speed voltage is constant and frequency is increased. So, flux is inversely proportional to speed. So, in the same line we can draw the maximum torque. Maximum torque, pull out torque is constant up to the base speed, and above the base speed, because flux is inversely proportional, we have T max is inversely proportional to frequency or speed. So, we have below the base speed we have the constant torque drive, and above the base speed we have the constant power operation, constant torque operation and constant power operation. So, just like induction motor, we have the V by F control of synchronous machine. So, variable frequency control uses two modes. One is true synchronous mode, and second one is the self synchronous mode. Or self controlled mode. In true synchronous mode, the stator supply frequency is controlled from independent oscillator. Directly from the oscillator, the supply frequency to the of the inverter is varied. That means output frequency of the inverter is varied, motor supply frequency is varied. So, synchronous speed is varied directly from the oscillator, but frequency is changed gradually, so that the difference between the synchronous speed and motor speed is always small. So, rotor tracks the changes in synchronous speed, that is important. Frequency in true synchronous mode is controlled from an independent oscillator. Further, frequency is in true synchronous mode, frequency is changed from the initial value to the final value gradually, so that difference between synchronous speed corresponding to the frequency and rotor speed is always small, maintained at small value. That is very important in true synchronous mode. So, rotor tracks if rotor tracks the changes in synchronous speed. When the desired synchronous speed is reached, the rotor pulls into step after some hunting oscillations, and then synchronism is established, so that the load can be driven. So, during after the pull, just after the pulling into, there will be some hunting oscillation which is damped by damper winding. So, damper winding is required, and this true synchronous mode that means it is the true behavior of the synchronous machine. So, used for starting, used for smooth starting. By true synchronous mode, motor can be started softly, smoothly. It also used for speed control and regenerative braking. So, this is possible as long as frequency is changed gradually, slowly for rotor to track the varying synchronous speed. Then we have the self synchronous mode or self controlled synchronous motor or self controlled mode. That is the basic BLDC drive. In self control mode, it is analogous to DC machine. The synchronous machine is analogous to DC machine, and even vector controlled induction motor is a self controlled machine. So, let us see the scheme. We have the inverter, and we have the DC supply to the inverter, and the inverter feeds the synchronous motor a variable frequency supply, and along the motor shaft there is a shaft position encoder which should be an absolute position encoder, and we have the inverter control circuit which gives the control pulses for the inverter, and the shaft position encoder gives the rotor position angle theta to the inverter control circuit, and there is a delay command to the inverter control circuit. And we have this part is the self controlled synchronous motor. So, in self control mode, the inverter frequency that goes to the stator is slave to the rotor position or rotor speed. For example, let us consider, suppose the induction motor is driving a load at steady state. So, motor and stator, the rotor and stator MMF are in synchronism, and suppose the load is suddenly increased. Due to that, the rotor position angle will increase, because as the load is increased, the rotor will progressively fall back behind the stator MMF. Rotor will fall back behind the stator MMF. So, the angle between the stator MMF and rotor will increase. So, this is sensed by the shaft position encoder. So, which is going to the as giving the theta I information to the inverter control circuit. So, immediately inverter will invert. So, it will reduce the frequency to the stator. As supply frequency to the motor is reduced, the synchronous speed reduces, and all the time synchronous speed and rotor speed they are equal. So, that means rotor speed is always same as the synchronous speed, and that means the inverter frequency, the motor frequency is dictated by the rotor speed. So, there is no fear of pull out of the rotor or losing the synchronism, or no hunting will be present, because the rotor and the stator MMF always run in the synchronism. So, there will be no hunting oscillation and no fear of instability. So, in this case the supply frequency to the motor is such that it corresponds to the rotor speed. So, rotor and stator MMF always rotate in synchronism. So, this is the self control mode or the self synchronous mode. So, it has the characteristic just like DC motor characteristics. Let us compare it with a DC motor. Self controlled synchronous motor has following features. An electronic commutator replaces the mechanical commutator. And brushes thus eliminating disadvantages of DC machine. Such as maintenance, reliability problem, sparking, limitations in speed and power rating, difficulty to operate in corrosive and explosive environments, etc. So, in this self control mode, the rotor speed is same as the stator MMF speed. So, it is just like a DC machine characteristics, and electronic when the speed when the load increases, the speed drops. Okay. When the this is the load torque versus speed. As the load torque increases, the rotor speed drops due to inertia, and this frequency drops. So, it is just like DC shunt motor characteristics, and it is just like DC motor, but in the mechanical commutator and brushes of the DC machine gives the disadvantages like it requires maintenance and reliability problems, sparking, limitations in speed and power rating, difficulty to operate in corrosive and explosive environments. So, these disadvantages are eliminated, and an electronic commutator, the mechanical commutator of DC machine is here replaced by electronic commutator, which is the inverter. So, transient response is fast and DC machine like. So, main important problem is stability problem, which is there in the true synchronous mode, and hunting problem, which is present in the true synchronous mode, are eliminated in self synchronous mode. They are eliminated. That is most important. Response is fast. And another point, high energy permanent magnets can be used in the rotor in place of wound field motor. This can make rotor inertia smaller and thus give fast response. So, high energy permanent magnet can be used. So, this can give fast response and have lower inertia. These are the some of the advantages, and so that is why it is compared with the DC motor drive. So, it is called brushless DC motor drive. It is the basic brushless DC drive, and there are advanced versions also. We will discuss in subsequent classes. Thanks for attention.